Hello, this is Professor Ben Hewitt with Fullerton College. In this video, I'm going to show you the why and the how-to of making color separations for CMYK printing from an RGB image the manual way, so we can understand the functions that happen most of the time unseen behind the scenes automatically by our computers. So first, we're going to look at the why. Color and color reproduction, as we practice it in our industry, has to do with actually charting human perception and how we understand the different wavelengths of light that hit our eyes. I'm not going to go through a full reintroduction to color management, but suffice it to say, we're going to look at the two main color modes, how they interact, and how we can use this to create, or not to create, to translate from one to the other. So on the screen right now, you can see the color wheel of RGB additive color. This is how it works when you add light together, different colors of light. And this is because the red, green, and blue colors are actually the exact colors that your eyes are looking for. You have cones in your eyes that are sensitive to colored light, and you have them that are looking for blue, looking for green, and looking for red. While there are many wavelengths of light out there in the world, we are really only truly sensitive to those three. And we see everything as a mixture and balance of how many of each of those colors we see, which is how your computer, your TV, and your cell phone is able to trick you into seeing all sorts of colors while only shining three different colors of light at you. So in this picture, the big three circles, blue, green, and red, I guess I should do them in the proper order because it's always RGB, red, green, and blue. Those represent the primary colors, the colors that cannot be mixed from other colors when you're using light. All the overlaps create the mixed colors. Blue and red light makes magenta, blue and green makes cyan, and red and green makes yellow. It can also be said, because we're normally used to seeing all three, because our sun gives off a full spectrum with even amounts of all these colors, that when you see one color, you're also sometimes seeing the absence of the other. So if white is all three together, yellow is not just the mixture of red and green, it's the absence of blue. Magenta is the absence of green, and cyan is the absence of red, which you can see as looking directly opposite any one of these colors on the wheel will tell you what color is there when it is missing. Now we are looking at a subtractive model. This is a pigment or ink version of color. This is what is known for us as excuse me, CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. We'll get to the black part of it later. So in this one, you'll notice the same colors and the same overlaps happen. Between blue and green is still cyan, except this time the cyan is a primary. Between magenta and yellow is red, but this time magenta and yellow are the primaries and red is a secondary. Blue and yellow are still opposite each other, but blue is a mixture of magenta and cyan. You see how this is working and how they interact with each other? So really, if you're talking about subtractive color and you're talking about how ink works, you start out with white light, which is a mixture of all the colors of light, and you remove the parts you don't want to see by putting a pigment that absorbs some of the light. So really, cyan ink works by removing the red light, because blue and green light makes cyan. So if you remove the red, you get cyan. Same goes for the other ones. If you want to print green, you need cyan and yellow, and you need not magenta. Magenta removes green light. If you remove all the green light out of a full spectrum of light, you're left with blue and red, which makes magenta. Hopefully this makes sense, because this is how we're going to work when we get to our separations. So now I'm over here in Adobe Photoshop, where we are going to practice creating separations and doing the translation ourselves. Well, obviously with computer help, but we're going to manually go through and make the separations necessary to create CMYK images. You're going to want to use, let me grab my annotations here, the channels window right down here. And you see the channels for this RGB image are, well, RGB is all of them together. There's also a red, a green, and a blue channel. These are the channels of the light that you're seeing. So now, if we go in, we turn them off in turn, you see if we turn off red light, you get cyan, because get rid of red, you get green and blue light, and green and blue makes cyan. You take off the green, and you get just a blue channel, and it goes black and white because it's only showing you one color. So we can, with this, create various mixes. So first, let's start at the top and work our way down. What we're going to do is delete the other colors we're not going to use for this, and we'll save as and come back to the original. So if we take the green and the blue channels and we tell them to go away by deleting them, we are left with, it already renamed it. Did you see that? We're left with the channel red, but it knows that when you take these things apart, you end up with a cyan channel. If you think about it, the places that are brightly colored on this image, if it's red light, are where the red light goes. And the places that are darkly colored are the areas where there is no red light. Cyan removes red light. Therefore, the dark parts of this picture are cyan. So I'm going to do a save a copy. And I'm going to call this pits cyan copy.psd. And just to make sure that this works when we go to print it later, I'm going to do another little janky move here that's a little bit less, not less proper, but it's going to help it print so we can produce little flip charts of these. It's going to be fun. So I'll do a image mode grayscale. Nothing looks like it changed here. Then I'm going to do another one, image mode duotone. And with the it's on yellow right now. With duotone, I'm going to click on the color here and choose what single color. I'm actually doing it as a monotone, sorry. I'm going to choose which single color I want this to do. And down here, I have the option to use CMYK. So I'm just going to make this 100% cyan, 0 magenta, 0 yellow, 0 black. Okay, and this is now just the cyan ink that we're going to print. I'll do a quick save as. I'll save over the previous one since I made it as a copy. Save, replace, and that's one of these. So now I'm going to open my recent file and start over on pits again. So now I'm going to go through, I'm going to get rid of red and blue. Trash the red. Trash the, oh, well, you delete one now, so yellow. Yes, so now we have the magenta one. Now with magenta, same story. We're going to go image mode gray, image mode duotone, and we are going to duotone this instead to magenta because that's what we were using. So now it's cyan is 0, magenta is 100, and we're good. And it's magenta. Look, it recognized it as magenta. And it's a monotone magenta. Okay. Save as, pits, magenta, copy, might as well, .psd, save. Cool. Close that, open it again, and we'll open it up and we'll do the yellow one. The yellow is going to be the blue, so we'll select the red and the green. We'll trash both of those, and we're left with the yellow channel. Once again, mode grayscale, mode duotone, set to monotone. The color is going to be 0, 0, 100, and now it's yellow. And we'll make a yellow copy.psd, and PSD is fine for this. PDF would probably also work depending on which version of PDF you pulled from. Some of the other ones might lose the color information you're trying to use. Now, when you actually get to the details of how black is generated for print plates and printing separations, it's a little bit different. And we're going to use a most simple blunt force method for this because this is simply teaching us how this works. It's more complicated and there are way more options available when you actually do it for a proper product. So here's how I would do it for this project. I would do image, adjustments, curves. And what I'm going to do is bend this curve so that only the darkest things show up. It looks really bad, and that's okay because we only want the darkest parts of this picture to show up in our black. If everything's black, the whole thing's just going to be dark. So I'm going to just go here and basically say, I just want the darkest part of this picture, and okay. Now from here, I'm going to do an image mode grayscale. There we go. And I'm going to save this as, you guessed it, Pitts Black. Yeah, I'm really creative, huh? Okay, I'm going to assemble this together in InDesign as a preview and show you how you can create this to print out to actually create a physical copy of this. Okay, so now I'm over here in, actually, time out. Let me make sure this is sharing correctly. I'm still in Photoshop. Now we're over here together in InDesign. So here in InDesign, we're going to create a rectangle. Oh, sorry, we'll create a document that's 8.5 by 11, or really 11 by 8.5 for my picture, because it's landscape. And I've created a rectangle frame that's going to be the same size as the page. And if I want to be kind of janky and make this go faster, I could do a thing, but I think I'll do it at the end so you can see it better. So never mind that part. Anyways, with this, I'm going to place, of course, my placing is never as quick and easy as I expect it to be. Because InDesign always remembers a previous folder where you last did a placing from, which was for a different class. Anyways, now we're wrangled back into where it should be. Our swap out's complete. So I'm going to choose Pitts Black Copy PSD and place it. And I'll make it have a certain type of fitting, and that's fine. Next, I'm going to paste. I already copied. I'm going to paste in front the next one of these rectangles. So they're all going to be in the same spot. And this time I'm going to place, let's do cyan, and make it fit. Next, I'm going to paste the next one. I'm going to place magenta, make it fit. And you'll never guess what's next, will you? Uh-oh. My paste in place is not working so great. So I'm just going to copy, paste this. There we go. And I'm going to paste the yellow in. I guess I touched something in between, which was my bad. So now we have them. All four are together on top of each other, which if I'm going to sample it on the computer to show what it looks like, I need to change the view mode. So if I select all these boxes, go to FX and choose transparency, I can choose this blending mode to not be normal, but to be multiply, which is going to take all the layers and act as transparencies on top of each other. And look at that. Here's my picture in glorious color, made out of, made out of separate layers of color. When they all align, it creates process color. And if you print each one of these separate things on a separate piece of transparency, we can tape them or staple them together, and you'll be able to physically see how this stuff attaches to itself to create the layered image. All right, thanks for talking, I did the talking. Thanks for listening. Hope this was useful. Till next time.